welcome to Vicky Makes and Builds. I'm back! Yay! I am in my new flat properly now, and I have not quite finished unpacking yet, but the important thing is there are puzzle shelves in the world again, and my puzzle table is back assembled in front of me, and I'm so relieved. It feels like ages. It's like ages since I've done any puzzling. So I'm back today, and today I have for you something a little bit different, because this puzzle in front of me is my very first wooden puzzle. Never done a wooden puzzle before. I've seen a lot on Instagram and things like that. I've seen some really lovely ones. I've heard of a lot of good and decent brands, but I've never actually done one. So today I decided to opt for a Wentworth puzzle. This is it here in this lovely grey box, and the image I decided to go for is called Rainbow Feathers. So it's a wooden gradient puzzle, and it's basically just feathers of different colours, and the colours go from red on the left hand side over to purple on the opposite side, and through the colours of the rainbow basically in between. So it actually says on the box extra difficult, and I didn't specifically go for this puzzle because that's what it says, that it's extra difficult. I don't sort of necessarily do puzzles to challenge myself in that way. What I really liked about this puzzle was the image. I just think it's so pretty, and the feathers are just lovely, and I do like a gradient puzzle as well. So I went for this one. I think the main reason that they dubbed this puzzle extra difficult is because there is not much variety in the shapes of the pieces. I think there's only maybe one or two different shapes. So, you know, a lot of the pieces are interchangeable with one another, which kind of, you know, adds a level of difficulty to it. As far as I know, that's the reason. But obviously it's a colourful image, and I can use the image hopefully to my advantage in order to be able to solve the puzzle. So I'm really excited to get started on this. I've not got too much else to say really. I'm going to just dive into the unboxing just now and get started on the puzzle, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so here is the puzzle, and I'm just going to have a quick look at the box first of all. It's quite a luxurious looking box. It's really nice thick cardboard. It feels nice and smooth. We've got the logo here, Wentworth Wooden Puzzles. We've obviously got the image, and as you can see, the edge isn't exactly straight. So because of the sort of the geometric nature of the shapes of the pieces, the top edge is sort of, it's kind of like scalloped. It's got a sort of like ridges on it. And it actually says there at the side, this puzzle has an uneven edge as shown. So that's something a little bit different about it, just for starters. Beside the logo, you've got the name of the puzzle, Rainbow Feathers, and it says by Edward Artbeat Studios. So that's who's responsible for the art. And then it says premium quality laser cut wooden jigsaw featuring a challenging extra difficult cut pattern. So yeah, so the extra difficult part is referring specifically to the pattern of the cut of the puzzle. It says extra difficult there, and it is 251 pieces. Now, moving to the side, it's pretty sort of simple, uncluttered. It says Wentworth Wooden Puzzles on that side. On this side, we've got the logo at the top. It says Made in Great Britain, and it's got the Wentworth address. At the bottom it says ingenious cuts, charming whimsies and devilish fun. Now I think this particular puzzle has whimsies in it. However, a lot of them obviously do. And the other side is just kind of just a smaller version really of the image. It's sideways on. It says Rainbow Feathers. It's got the barcode and a warning that it's not suitable for children. Logo again, and ingenious cuts, charming whimsies, devilish fun. So So that's good. All kind of the usual stuff you would expect, really. On the back, it says, discover the magic of a Wentworth puzzle. Inside this box, you will find one of our premium quality wooden jigsaw puzzles made entirely by us from our factory in the heart of the British countryside since 1991. With intricately hand-designed laser-cut pieces, including our charming whimsies, we guarantee this puzzle will delight and tantalise you for years to come. But a Wentworth puzzle can give you so much more: a break from screen time, quality time shared with family and friends, or a mindful distraction and path to well-being, which I'm sure it will be, or at least I hope it will. And then on the right-hand side, this section here says, Happy Puzzlers, Happy Planet. We aim to spread happiness and be sustainable in all that we do. So this puzzle is made using woods from forest that are sustainably managed, and the box is made from recycled materials. So that's really, really good. Pleased about that. No plastic was used in our packaging process. We are doing all we can to minimise the energy we use and recycle the waste we create. Most importantly, our puzzles are made to last. So whether you keep your Wentworth puzzle as a family heirloom or pass it on to others to spread the joy, it is the ultimate in sustainability. And it's got a little recycling sign there. So it sets itself some high standards, and it's completely sustainable and uses recycled materials. So yeah, so I mean, already it's looking good. I'm going to take the lid off just now and just pop that to one side. And inside we have this rather nice looking purple pull string bag. It's got the logo on it, Wentworth Wooden Puzzles, and we've got some nice kind of like rope ties at the top. I'm just going to put that to one side there. Underneath we've got a leaflet. And it's really just advertising some of the puzzles, other puzzles that they do, ones with unique shapes, ones with whimsies. And it talks about how it can do, Wentworth do personalised puzzles as well. So that's good. That just goes in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of pouring the pieces into the box like I usually do, I'm going to actually pour these pieces out directly onto my table. And I'm being really delicate with it because I can hear these sort of clickety clacking inside the bag, and I don't know, it feels fragile, even though it's made of wood, which is harder than cardboard. I don't know, it feels like a fragile thing. I'm trying to be really, really sort of careful. But anyway, I'm going to try and attempt to open this drawstring bag, which is rather difficult to open. There we go. And I'm going to just slowly pour out these pieces now then. Oh my. Oh, there are so many of them. I mean, I knew there were 251 pieces, but this just looks like there's loads of them. Oh dear. Right, some of them are stuck to the bag. I think I've got them all out, but one has fallen on the floor. Right. Oh, I can smell the wood. Smell the wooden pieces. Right, okay, so I'm just going to spread them out a bit, and I'm going to turn a few over. Obviously, a lot have come out with the brown sort of background, and I want to really try and show off these lovely colours of the feathers. So, yeah, basically, lots of kind of geometric shapes. But many of them sort of interlock with each other. There is more than one shape, more than two actually. I'll need to count how many there are in total. We've got this sort of I'll put some pictures up, but we've got kind of a W shape like that. We've got these sort of like look like unfinished cubes with the 3 points. We've got these shapes look like little bows or something. That looks like it might be an edge. What else have we got? We've got what looks like a little arrow there. And I think that might be it. Yeah, so this is completely different for me. I mean, not only is it different because it's wooden, the pieces are a very different shape, not what I'm used to at all. And yeah, it's I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be a challenge, I think, but I think that this puzzle can be doable if I sort the pieces. And obviously with a gradient, sorting is by colour. So I think that's really what's going to make this puzzle kind of as doable as I can make it. I mean, to say a bit more about the pieces, I don't have a point of comparison because this is my first wooden puzzle. These are around about just under maybe 1/2 centimetre thick. They feel quite sturdy, but I mean, obviously some of them have these kind of quite sticky outy prongs to them, so I would want to be careful with them. I would hate for any of them to snap, but you know, they feel pretty strong. The colours look lovely. They look bright. They feel nice. I mean, obviously wood isn't glossy as a general rule. They aren't varnished or anything like that. So that is a plus. You know, I don't really like the glossiness that you sometimes get on puzzle pieces. But I wouldn't have expected that on a wooden puzzle anyway. So yeah, I mean, you can see like the feather details, kind of like if you look at this one, again, I'll take a picture, but if you look at this one, you can see kind of the stem of the feather going across the piece. So there's some texture to it that I can use as well to build the puzzle. So it's really lovely. It's really, really nice. I'm really looking forward to making a start on this. So what I'm going to do is I am going to sort the pieces. Now I'm going to sort by colour. Okay, so at the very start, I thought this was quite hard. There were quite a few occasions where I had put the wrong piece in and didn't realise till a wee while after I'd put it in. So like I'd sort of cut the top off too soon, and then realised I had kind of too many dark reds left because it was kind of fading into orange over here at the bottom. And so I realised it had to be taller, so I took these kind of top two sort of little arrow pieces out and I kind of built it up a little more. But what I will say is that once you have discovered the pattern, it then becomes easier because you know what shape comes next. So the option, I guess, at this stage is to go through and sort by shape now, but to be honest, I think that's just going to be a faff. I think really there aren't so many that I'm going to be trawling for ages looking for a specific shape of piece. It's pretty quick just to find them in the jumble that they're in. So I'm not going to sort by shape, but you know, that's an option to make things slightly quicker maybe and easier. that's me finished my first wooden puzzle. And so I just wanted to give you a few final thoughts on it. So basically, I loved it. I mean, I really did. I think I chose the right image for me, the right puzzle. I do love a gradient, and I do love when the colours are just vibrant and striking, just like on this. I really, really, really enjoyed it. But not only that, I think I picked the right puzzle as well because I really thought the cut pattern was really lovely as well. It reminded me in a way of the Crypt puzzles by Ravensburger, because even though this one has an image and a Ravensburger Crypt is generally a solid colour, the unique cut patterns on the Crypt and on this as well, just it's like another image layered over the top of the original image. And I think that's one of the things that just adds to the prettiness of the whole thing. Same with the Crypts. I just loved the way the shapes of the pieces and the unique cut pattern and the kind of repeated pattern. I just loved the way it kind of added a whole new dimension really to the image itself. So that was one thing I really, really loved about this. And it's just a feast for the eyes. I mean, it's such a photogenic puzzle. I must have taken, I don't know, 100 pictures or something. I was just snapping photos of it all the time. So I really did enjoy it, and I really did love it. And you can create fun new patterns with this one as well, which is another thing I like. The fact that a lot of the pieces are interchangeable means you can move them around and swap them about and maintain the integrity of the puzzle, but, you know, just create all new patterns and images and just have fun with it, really. So I really did enjoy that about it as well. So as far as wooden puzzles versus cardboard puzzles go, obviously on a wooden puzzle, the pieces are slidier, so they slide against each other more and they slide against the surface of the table as well. So it gives wooden puzzles a kind of wiggliness where they sort of move about within the puzzle, and obviously more wiggly than a cardboard puzzle. And I expected that. I think you get that with all wooden puzzles. However, this one wasn't too bad, and I think that's because, again, the nature of the cut, the pieces interlock and hook around each other a bit better. So there's some wiggliness there, but it's not too bad. And I think that the relative lack of wiggliness in this puzzle, I think that might mean I could probably do a successful pickup challenge on this. I'm going to try that at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that. So that's an obvious difference with, you know, cardboard versus wooden. But not only that, because the pieces are thicker in a wooden puzzle, I found that you had to kind of drop the pieces into place. So you have like a gap for the piece, but rather than being able just to sort of push it in like you would on a cardboard puzzle, this one you have to sort of drop into place. You can't really kind of force it in or shove it in. And again, the very slight wiggliness and the movement within the puzzle made that just at times just a little bit frustrating, because the pieces around it would just shift about, and sometimes I was there for quite a while trying to drop the piece in to the right place. But, you know, again, I think that's just a thing with wooden puzzles, and I think that perhaps it was slightly more difficult with this one because of the way the pieces are hooked around each other and interlocked, because the pieces are kind of geometric in shape. I don't know if it's maybe not quite as bad in a more traditional wooden puzzle where you've got whimsies and you've got kind of random cut shapes. It's maybe perhaps not as difficult to drop them in place. I'm not sure. I've not actually done one of those yet. So I'll be able to let you know once I do finally get around to that. But that was one thing I did find with this one. I think that the experience with building the puzzles as well was quite different. Again, the increased thickness made it just slightly more different, kind of the way you place the pieces. And not only that, but if you got a piece wrong, if I put a piece in wrong, which I did on occasion on this puzzle, taking them out again was a little bit more frustrating as well. I couldn't just kind of lever it out and it was fine. If I tried to lever it out, then often what would happen is it would pick up the pieces around it at the same time. So, and if it was in the middle of the puzzle, I couldn't necessarily get kind of a finger in to try and pull it out. If it was at the edge, it wasn't so bad. But yeah, that was one thing I found, you know, if I did get a piece wrong, taking it out wasn't quite the simple process that, you know, it perhaps might have been with a flatter puzzle, a cardboard puzzle. So, you know, there was that. It wasn't, as far as difficulty level goes, Wentworth describes this as extra difficult, and I can see why, and I can see how the cut pattern does add a dimension of challenge, but I personally wouldn't describe this as extra difficult. I might say it's difficult, or slightly harder than average, maybe. I might say that, but I wouldn't say extra difficult. And I think most of the reason for that is because there's a very obvious image. You've got a very obvious gradient. The colours in the gradient weren't so gradual that I was struggling to figure out where in the gradient the piece went. Not only that, but there was a texture to this puzzle. So it's not just gradient colours, it's feathers. So I could see the stems of the feather, and I could see, you know, some of the kind of the fluffy bits on the feathers. So the textures of the puzzle helped with that as well. So the image really was a contributing factor that made it doable. But not only that, once you've established the pattern, then it becomes easier. It becomes something that helps you rather than something that hinders you. So like at the very start, it was hard. It was harder because I didn't know what the pattern was. I hadn't established the pattern yet. I hadn't figured it out yet. So, you know, the first sort of couple of rows was like, oh, okay, I'm not quite sure how this goes. But, you know, then once I had figured that out, I was able then to know where the pieces went roughly and things like that. Again, now and again, I put it in the wrong place and it was kind of hard to take it out and redo it. But as a general rule, I think that the cut, in a way, once you've started it, I think the cut kind of helps you a bit and maybe takes away a little bit from the difficulty. So roughly, again, I've never done a more random cut wooden puzzle, so I don't know how hard or easy they are or how this would compare. But, you know, I actually found that helped. So I wouldn't describe it as extra difficult, but I would describe it as challenging. It did trick me all the way through. I mean, as much as I said the cut pattern helps, I didn't actually figure out till halfway through the puzzle that the three-pronged pieces that look like little sort of half-formed cubes, I didn't figure out till halfway through that one of the prongs was actually longer than the other two. So, you know, they would only go a certain way. And then I didn't figure out until the very end of the puzzle, when I was kind of all the way over at the purple feathers, that actually the three-pronged pieces along the bottom row, specifically the bottom row, were all the same length. So there were two different shapes of there were two very slightly different shapes of the three-pronged pieces. There were ones that were equal in length, the three prongs, and there were ones where one was longer. And I didn't even realise that till the very end. And it caught me out because I was trying to put one of the taller ones in the bottom row and it wasn't fitting, and I could not figure out why it didn't fit. And I realised then that, you know, there was a very slight difference in the size. So, you know, it did trip me up. I can't say that it wasn't tricky in any way or not challenging in any way. It definitely was. But I wouldn't describe it as extra difficult. Right, so that's really all I had to say about it. Overall, Wentworth, I thought, were a really amazing brand. I loved the luxury feel and the quality of the puzzle. I thought was top-notch. I will definitely try another Wentworth and possibly maybe a more traditional wooden puzzle with the kind of the random cuts and the whimsies. I think that would be really fun to do. And other brands of wooden puzzle as well. I'm really looking forward to giving those a try too. So yeah, it's been a great experience. Really enjoyed it. So that's really it from me just now. Before I attempt a pickup challenge on this puzzle, I will say thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do put a like on the video. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then please do consider subscribing to me as well. And in the meantime, I'll say happy puzzling and I'll see you next time. Okay. I just need to buy the bullet. Ready, steady, go! Totally does not work!
that theory. Okay. Yeah, you can't do a puzzle pick-up on any kind of wooden puzzle, but I think, yeah. Oh dear, I'm laughing at my own stupidity. I think that it was a bit daft to think that that could happen. They just interlocked so well, I thought it might stay together even just a little bit, but the whole thing just disintegrated. So, there we go. No puzzle pickups on the wooden puzzles. Bye!